This is the ball. Now we've got Wilds getting a shot in. It's turned away over towards the other wall now, and another aerial play coming out from the Lions.
Thrift trying to carry it in. He ends up getting knocked away by their teammate. 20 seconds left. Fiery looking to make a play. Wilds, though, is right there. Demo is going to go out onto all-tack. Wifey, great center right in front of the net. Fiery just barely overdrives it. I think Jababy's going to pinch this away, and scoreboard shows Lions will end up winning, and their undefeated streak will remain alive here. But a great effort at times by the Gators here. This game is a lot closer than I think the scoreboard is truly indicated of.
And be forewarned, Lions, the more that you keep winning these rounds, the more difficult it's going to be for you to keep up your winning streak, as people will be playing directly against your play style as they watch you more.
Well, if you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured Rumbles, recruiters are taking notice as well. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. Lions continue to remain undefeated, but we've seen some great efforts by the Scorpions and the Gators as we prepare to wrap up the night. We have one more group stage game left. What team are you looking for to come out here on top in our final games, Nerdy?
I have caster cursed so many of these games before. I feel like that's a trap question. And can I choose to not give a solid, not give an answer? I'm not. I don't want anyone being like, Nerdy, you did it again.
That's fair.
Why would you do this to us?
That's fair.
So, not rooting for anybody. I'm just excited to see what everybody has to bring to the table. But the one comment I want to make off that last game that we just got to see, though, is that the Gators have like a lot of mechanical skill. It's there. They just need a little bit more confidence, and that comes with time, obviously. And I feel like as they work more with their coaches, we're going to see a lot more from them in the coming weeks. So I'm excited to see what they bring to the table in the future.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll catch our final group stage games of the night after that. But before we throw it to the break, we want to throw it over to Doc Haskell, who sat down with Bronco and content creator Peyton Wilkins. And Wayton's going to talk a little bit about how he makes that content. So let's throw it over to Doc right now.
It's Doc Haskell. I'm sitting down here with Peyton Wayton. We were just talking a second ago about content. You create a ton of content. You've got an amazing YouTube channel. And so the first question is, what does it take for someone to, play at a high level and create content?
Well, there's like kind of a lot of overlapping traits, I'd say, between those two things. Like someone who's going to be successful with content and like actually see results and everything, they have to have like a lot of patience and motivation and everything to see that success, because when you're starting out, you're not going to, like, the numbers aren't going to be there. You have to do it because you actually enjoy it. And similarly with that competitive stuff, no one's going to start playing whatever video game it is just because they want to go pro. Like, they're going to do it for fun, and then eventually they get good enough, and then they see, wait, this is actually a possibility, and they still have to keep that patience and everything and still keep doing it for fun in order to stay motivated through that.
Your videos are really well done. You spend a lot of time in the editing process. I know a lot of people would like to know, how long does it take you from, okay, I'm going to start capturing for this, including all the capture, to the editing to the release? What are the hours typically for a video?
It definitely varies on the video, but on average, I'd say at least like 25 plus hours. So I'm doing one per week, but that also includes doing other things like streaming and everything, because content creation isn't always just about YouTube content. It's also a lot about behind the scenes stuff. I'm always in my content brain, so it's kind of hard to measure that. Whereas, like, how long did it take to come up with that idea? You can't really measure that because I'm constantly thinking about it, and sometimes it just pops in my head, and I just think about it.
What is your process from deciding whether an idea is good enough to actually go through the process of creating?
I have a lot of ideas that never make it to that whole creative process, and the reason is you can come up with a good idea that sounds really good at first, but then you realize that's probably going to make a really good 3 to 4 minute video, which, like, it could still be entertaining, but at the end of the day, that's not going to be as successful as a full-on entertaining thing that's going to keep someone engaged for 10 plus minutes. And that's really what you're going for. So a lot of those ideas don't make it past that first phase.
It's Doc Haskell. I'm sitting
NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back into this broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble, broadcasting it live from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Nearing the end of our Week 6 group stage, teams battling it out for final seeding. We'll take a look at our final games of the night. Fish and Nerdy here calling all of the action. And I'm very excited. I know you didn't want to cast your curse anyone, Nerdy, so I won't put that on you. But I am very excited. We'll get a chance to look at the Hammerheads and the Scorpions again. And I think that is the two teams I'm excited to see because they're the teams we've seen. We know the least amount. We've seen the Scorpions the least. We've seen the Hammerheads, but they are a new team. So I'm very curious. I think we even get a head-to-head between them, how that will go out, because those feel like maybe the teams that are battling it out for that second seed, because the Lions are running over everybody. But it's a lot closer than I think I personally expected the Lions games to be tonight.
Yeah, the Lions, they're not perfect, that's for sure. They're still human. That's something to keep
True.
in mind. I also am excited to see the Hammerheads and Scorpions go head-to-head because I feel like as far as, like, team, like, gameplay level, they're probably the most equally matched teams, at least for this week, that we're going to see. So it should be very exciting and a very close game, regardless of how the final scoreboard turns out. That's all I'm going to say about it, though. I'm not calling anything from there on out.
We don't want anybody mad and nerdy. We've already had that happen, unfortunately enough, because we just apparently have powers we don't know how to control, and we don't know when they're going to come up. So let's start over to Doc's Keys of the Game one last time tonight, presented by Esports Tower. Score Pro advice at esportstower.com. Those are create mistakes, punish the overcommit, don't overstay, bump a demo to disrupt, and is a little fifth bullet point or a little sub-bullet point on that last one. You got to olay those demos if the other team is following Doc's Keys of the Game. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up at Esports Tower. Final game of the night for the Lions. We'll see if they can go undefeated against absolutely everybody. We'll get a chance to take a look at them in their highlight match against the Mammoths. And I'm curious to see if the Lions can win one convincingly. I know they took down the Gators convincingly, but against the Hammerheads, against the Scorpions, it was a little bit iffy. So I'm curious if we'll get a close game again or if the Lions will walk away with this one and go undefeated 4-0 and a perfect record tonight. Can't wait to see how this one goes.
Lions, if you feel very called out by what Fish just said, know that I feel like that was a call out as well. I mean, I agree, but dang.
I mean,
okay.
They've won with 2 seconds on the clock. They've forced overtime with 5 seconds on the clock. Their games are a lot closer. I mean, coming in, I got all hyped up. They're telling Esports Tower, like, yeah, they're undefeated. They haven't lost a game in 2 weeks against other Esports Tower teams. They did play the coaches last week, and they did end up losing that, so they're not perfectly undefeated, but against other Esports Tower teams, they're perfectly undefeated. They haven't lost a game in almost 3 weeks. I'm like, okay, they're going to dominate like the Barracudas, the Ghosts. Maybe it's a credit to the Hammerheads and Scorpions. Maybe they're just better than I expected. But I've challenged the Lions. We'll see if they can answer the call. As right off the kickoff, it looked like they would, but Endercrafter ends up making a fantastic save here for the Mammoths. Unfortunately, loses the ball as Thrift able to steal it away, but a great dunk there by Not Earth forces the ball back to the blue side.
It's here in the corner, though, on the Lions side of the field. Not a situation they want to be in. Is a nice centering shot there to Not Earth from Endercrafter. All three members of the Lions are bunched up there. They're kind of being forced on those back tires as opposed to being the ones creating the plays here for themselves. Not something we're used to seeing early on in these games as Potato gets a shot, but the crossbar is no one's friend this evening. Endercrafter gets a shot. Not Earth comes in for the tertiary touch, finding the goal. That took a lot of work. Let's see if they can keep that up.
Great job there by the Mammoths, but as you said, that took like 5 shots, it felt like. A couple of them hit off the crossbar. Another great start here for the Lions. Going to center it up over to Jababy, who will just blast that one in, and a fantastic answer immediately by the Lions, tying us up at 1.
Their answer also was in the form of just driving Endercrafter away from the ball and where everything was happening. So just taking someone out, including taking yourself out, was definitely worth it there for the Lions. Possibly a strategy we'll see them continue to do as we see the ball spike down, but then you immediately volley back over across that midfield by, I think that was Thrift, and now Wilds has it right above the Mammoth's goal.
Oh, Jababy, what a goal. Sneaks it down, didn't try and go too quickly and launch it in the crossbar. Jababy's already got 1 hat trick tonight, potentially going to add another one. As these kickoffs for the Lions, they have figured something out. They're winning them consistently here as they win another one.
We have Wilds with a great shot on goal. Endercrafter tried to get in there, unfortunately just not at the right elevation. It's hard to predict where that ball's going to land. Gravity's no one's friend, even in game.
Wilds finally loses a kickoff there to Potato as Endercrafter tried to take that ball. Does get dunked around, not Earth. Looking for a touch. Bit of a double commit comes out from the Lions. They've had their fair share of those tonight. Huge clear down on the net. Thrift tries to clear it away, but the Mammoths get another one from Endercrafter.
1 goal lead right now in favor of the Lions with 3.5 minutes left here. Not enough to say goodnight to anybody. Mammoth's still coming and swinging as Endercrafter steals it away from 2, and now it's just Jababy back at the goal. They do send it right back over towards the Mammoth side of the field, though.
Wilds ends up retreating. Thought they might challenge on that ball. Not Earth dribbling it up 1-on-2. Can't sneak it around Wilds, however, as Thrift dunks it over Endercrafter. Potato back. Only one in a 1-on-3 situation. Ends up making a huge save and a huge clear. That's a big win for the Mammoths on that possession.
We do have Potato getting booped around quite a bit there. Endercrafter comes in to save them, sending it into the corner, trying to center it up off that back wall. The angle's just not quite right, so now Wilds has an opportunity to play it off the wall. They choose not to, though, allowing, I believe that was not Earth, to come in with a follow-up touch from Endercrafter. Will not be enough for Potato. Finds another touch, and it does get cleared to the side. Thrift now colliding with Endercrafter, and not Earth will unfortunately not get a touch on that ball.
Potato makes a great stop on a shot from the other side of the field. Not Earth. Ooh, risky pass back there. Thrift ends up challenging and winning that ball. But a nice pinch there from the Mammoths. Going to clear it all the way to the other side. Jababy, great touch. Trying to pass it down to Thrift. Oh, almost had a demo there as well. Looks like they were able to dodge out of the way. Endercrafter up in the air. Great save there by Thrift and Wilds.
Thrift now playing it off the wall, gets a demo in the process, has to just play it into the goal. No one's there in time, bringing their score up to 4. Still over 2 minutes left, just a 2-goal lead. Lions are in a comfortable position, but they need to maintain this comfortable position, I feel like, in order for Fish to be satisfied with a actual solid victory from the Lions.
2-goal win. I'm happy with it. The Mammoths have been playing phenomenally, including Endercrafter over to Potato. Endercrafter trying to knock people out of the way. Couldn't quite find it. Not Earth keeping it alive. Couple of great misses there by the Mammoths as Thrift was just waiting on that ball. Here's Potato right in front of the net. Not Earth has bumped the goalie out of the way. I don't know how you can't capitalize on that. That was a great play by Not Earth.
It was just the angle off that wall was just not in their favor.
No.
And now Thrift brings it back to find the goal from across, basically bringing a coast to coast on that one. Well deserved for Thrift, and now the next kickoff, no one's there. Endercrafter got a nice touch, but just slight elevation from the Lions was enough to stop it. 2 of them are chilling in the goal, though. Not really something you want to be seeing, as that's an easy double commit capitalization for the Mammoths.
I did see when we flashed the scoreboard, I couldn't tell one of the members is Thrift scores. Maybe we'll see it here. One of the members of the Lions was up in that triple-digit ping range. Yeah, Wilds is chilling at 100 ping, so might be just chilling out in the goal because, you know, probably not used to playing on 100 ping, so that might be why they're just hanging back there trying to make sure they don't lag and make a mistake. Is yeah, they're hanging back. They're just saying, look, can we this game end? I don't like playing at triple digits on ping, which I don't think anybody does.
That's fair enough. That is basic seizure territory for anyone that plays video games competitively. You can't do basically anything, especially split-second frame-perfect saves are very difficult to pull off. So good luck, Wild. Your team is still holding up very well despite you being down. let's just see if they can maintain that as your lag is just ever so high.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, it says you have 100 ping and your game's absolutely frozen. Ping, sometimes you're like, oh yeah, you only have 100. It's like, nah, it's more like 999. Trust me, I'm the one experiencing it, and it looks like the Lions in a 2-on-3 are able to keep this alive. Thrift nearly scores another one there with a great little solo goal with Wilds out of commission. Thrift has been showing off here. And we'll see if the Mammoths can get a couple more, but I will say the Lions have answered the call here, Nerdy. They have definitely won in a dominant fashion that I was hoping to see from them.
Endercrafter for the Mammoths has had some fantastic reads on both Wilds and Thrift, though, preventing those goals from going in. There's been a lot more attempts than there has been finding the back of the net, so nicely done there on the Mammoths for trying their hardest. Definitely going toe-to-toe with the Lions, but Fish, are you satisfied? Was that
Yes. Yeah, that was satisfying, especially having one of your players lag out there at the end. Very satisfying to see the Mammoths, or the Lions, win in resounding fashion. So they'll go undefeated. Again, not dropping a single game. We'll probably see them in our top cup game of the next week. And now here's the matchup that I wanted to see. It's Hammerheads and Scorpions. Both these teams have had a lot of moments of strength. They both pushed the Lions to the brink in the one game we saw. Been told they're both fighting for a spot in the Octane Cup to face off against the Lions. So this is a match to determine the second seed out of the groups. We'll get a chance to look at one of the games between the Hammerheads and Scorpions, who both have looked very, very strong when we've seen them tonight.
I'm excited for this one. Like I said, not rooting for either side. Just excited to see how this plays out. Both teams play your hardest. That's all I can hope for.
Both these teams in their first Rumble event as a team have had some very strong performances. Again, this is a tiebreaker game. The winner, or the pseudo-tiebreaker game, I should say, is the winner of this will go into the Octane Cup, face off against the Lions next week. It is the Scorpions and the Hammerheads, and we're ready to hop right into it. I don't even know who to lean here. I know, we'll keep you out of it, Nerdy. We don't want you to cast or curse anybody. You can make your prediction with 1 second left on the clock, because I don't think anything can go wrong at that point. Maybe.
I'm going to still choose to know that one. It's just best in my favor on this one to say both. I think both teams have equal opportunity here, so that's where I'm leaving it.
So you see the Hammerheads with a great start there. Psychosis took a shot. Snuck it past all three members of the Scorpions, but wasn't quite able to finish it off. Psychosis and Tater end up passing it up to Vibes in midair, and Vibes.
That was beautiful.
That was a fantastic goal, you're right. An early lead for the Hammerheads.
Can they keep that lead, though? Because we haven't seen, I know we've seen Greed once or twice, I believe. Sadness is a player that I'm not very familiar with. So those two have a lot that they can still pull out in this game that no one might be prepared for as far as the Scorpion side of things go. They overall, though, have a very solid team put together. And there was a slight double commit there. Let's see if that doesn't happen again for the Hammerheads. So we do see the Scorpions now on the attack. Unfortunately, though, they will lose out as Tater gets a nice pinch off that wall.
Psychosis, one touch on it. Tater ends up with another, the give and go, but a great save by Greed. Vibes with a fantastic steal. Ball right in front of the net, but Z Hydra, who's a phenomenal player, able to make a great save. Now Tater waits too long on it. Sadness rips a shot, but Vibes, just a huge clear back. Z Hydra will get it in midair, but I don't know if you meant to hit that twice, Vibes, but that was a phenomenal play.
We have Greed collide with one of the Hammerheads players there. Two will elevate. Z Hydra, I think, got the better touch on that one. The tail was orange on that, so I'm going to say it was Z Hydra. As now, though, the Hammerheads going forward, unfortunately, will lose out on their dribble as they collide with a couple members here in the corner right in front of the goal.
Psychosis hunting down Z Hydra. Vibes can't make a stop on it. Open net. Vibes is there, though, to make a fantastic play. Now Psychosis off the side wall, looking for Tater on the pass. Ooh, unfortunate double commit there from the Scorpions. Keeps the ball going in the Hammerhead's direction. Unfortunately, Psychosis can't do much more than leave it off the ceiling. No boost available, so they're going to have to retreat as Tater sees their opportunity and just jumps over the ball. Oh, what?
Oh,
what? What? What?
I don't know how that happened.
What?
I need my instant replay, like, button.
What? Nobody's lagging, but that's what it sure looked like there. No idea how that ball goes in the back of the net for the Scorpions. This time, though, they are able to make the save. That was, you and I both will never know till the end of our days how that ball went in.
We'll maintain our confusion. It's okay. It'll happen.
So we see, Tater with a great challenge. Scorpions now need 2 goals. Great demo there by the Hammerheads to stop that one, though.
And there was a nice collision there coming out from one of the Scorpions players to make one of the Hammerheads lose possession. That's something that's going for the disruption without going for the demo can be very advantageous, but unfortunately Psychosis just goes for that snipe into the back of the net. No one could have stopped that one.
Psychosis gives his team a 3-0 lead. Oh, great win on the kickoff. See Hydro, who just overjumps the ball. Would have been a great way to get back in this one as we have less than 2 minutes, but Greed will keep it alive. Kickoffs lead to goals, and we see it right there.
Greed has 2 shots on goal. One of them is found the back of the net. I want to see Z Hydra and Sadness both try to take a shot, but I know Z Hydra is definitely more of like that midfield presence and the defensive presence player, and they go for more of the being annoying rather than being the playmaker, and as annoying I mean for the other team, and they do a great job of that. Unfortunately though, it's not enough to create victories just yet.
Psychosis takes a shot high off the back wall, gets launched out of the way. Tater keeping it alive in front of the net, gets a demo onto the goalie as well, but that ball just not really playable for anyone on the Hammerheads. Finally Psychosis gets there, but unfortunately ball just bouncing way too much. Resets. Here's Tater trying once again, gonna play the rebound and get it in for another goal. That is now one for everybody on the Hammerheads.
We're at 91-second territory here, definitely getting down to the wire for this first one. The Scorpions have an opportunity to start closing this gap. The Hammerheads just volley the ball all the way across the field back into the top of the net area, but unfortunately that back wall and crossbar are nobody's friend ever. Now the Scorpions have an opportunity to start turning this one around. There's no one in the goal. Oh, never mind. The ball was blocking Psychosis there on the ground.
Tater racing upfield. Psychosis sneaks around a couple, even pushes Sadness out of the way, but Greed able to pinch that with the wall. Clears it out towards about midfield. Psychosis wanted to double tap off the wall, but Z Hydra with a fantastic seal. Here comes Greed right in front of the net, but Sadness and Z Hydra had both turned around, so it's an easy clear for the blue team.
Z Hydra does turn back, though, gets preventing that clear from going in. Unfortunately, it was stopped right as the ball hit the ground by Psychosis, that player that's just been constantly a great defensive player, as well as just making sure that they are there for follow-ups as well as rotating back. Difficult to shut that down as you see another shot on goal get turned away by one of the Scorpions.
Psychosis looking for another goal, gets that ball stolen away by Sadness. And Greed now centers it up. Psychosis misses on it, great chance, but unfortunately no one there in time. Z Hydra's follow-up turned away by Psychosis all the way down the field. And the Hammerheads look like they will win this game in convincing fashion.
Yes, then you can see by the score down there on the bottom left corner that they come out on top of 2 games, and the Scorpions do not find the victory. But, you know, when we don't get to see the entire series, that scoreboard is never reminiscent of how the actual game went down.
So the Hammerheads will lock in second place. They'll face off against the Lions in the Octane Cup. That will be an absolute fantastic game, at least from the one game we saw between those teams to start off the night. Cannot wait for that. We have one final series left here, and we'll get a chance to stick with the Scorpions. Of course, coming off a disappointing result right there, they're not going to be able to qualify for the Octane Cup, but they're now fighting for the 3rd seed this week. They're going to take on the Mammoths. Mammoths have had a tough night compared to what their expectations were, but this is a team that we know can start rolling at any moment, so do not be shocked if the Mammoths take over the series and end up coming out on top in our final game of the night to determine the rest of the seeding behind the Lions and the Hammerheads.
Once again, no predictions from me.
Scorpions, again, this is a team we talked about, made up of very talented and stacked mechanical players that are incredible in solo queue, and as Nerdy alluded to at the start of the night, anytime you hear that a team is individually talented, that means that team play is something that we have to keep an eye on.
I'm not calling anybody out. The Scorpions, they already kind of threw that one back in my face after the first couple of games we got to see with them. They're like, do you realize how normal competitive play works? You're just thrown in with 2 randos. Unless you actually get a group together consistently, it's normally kind of pulling it out of the hat every single time. You don't know who you're going to get, and you just have to work around that. And sometimes, if you're someone who's used to that, it can play into your favor, and that might be what the Scorpions are capitalizing on right now. So that means as time goes on, the more they work together, they could become a very formidable opponent for anybody.
So we hop into this game, been told that the Scorpions been working on back post rotations because they want to keep pressure up on offense. They're trying to play these styles of rotations instead of focusing on ball side because those have commonly put them out of position, and we saw that a little bit in that series against the Lions. So we kick this off, Scorpions and Mammoths. And a great start here for Endercrafter. Unfortunately gets that one turned away. Potato off the side wall, but Greed will simply deny that one. One more chance here, I believe, for Mother Earth. Unfortunately, that ball sharply spikes into the ceiling, kind of changes the trajectory, but Endercrafter still gets a great shot, but it hits the crossbar.
Z-Hydra does kind of jump over that ball, doesn't get a nice possession here. They do have a Mammoth player still trying to live out this possession here on the side of the Scorpions. They do eventually lose it out. Greed and Z-Hydra rotate back. Z-Hydra grabs it, brings it into the corner, bringing it up now, plays it around one, but it looks like Not Earth will grab that ball, taking up the sidewall themselves.
Oh, Z-Hydra right in front of the net, gets that one turned away. Endercrafter now makes a nice stop up to Potato, barely gets that ball around Sadness, but Sadness keeps the play alive. Greed can't quite center that one up, though. Here comes the rest of the team. And unfortunately, it looks like Endercrafter's going to make a great stop there. That dem onto Potato will slow things down, but the Mammoths have turned this around. Greed, though, denies the second chance.
Got Z-Hydra, who then grabs that, bringing it across the midfield stripe. Greed and Z-Hydra both over here. See if they can make something happen. They have to play it around Endercrafter. All three members of the Mammoths were there. It does get just absolutely, I guess, spiked back towards the mid again. It's the only way to put that one. Is Potato now elevates, trying to play it around one. Well, I think they did just get demoed, unfortunately, though. So Scorpions have an opportunity to start turning this one back towards the side of the Mammoths.
Ooh, Z-Hydra rolls that one in. I think landed on the ball, kind of caused it to just roll on the ground. Already 3 shots for Z-Hydra. Great kickoff win as Z-Hydra goes chasing after it, but Endercrafter, who's been very impressive in tonight's games, gets a great setup for Not Earth, even bumps the goalie out of the way, but Not Earth's shot just a little bit wide of the net.
The angle, the geometry is not there. It's okay, it happens, but the cross map play there by the Scorpions, that was beautiful. Now up by 2, they have that insurance goal. See if they can maintain the lead, but 3 minutes is still on the clock. Plenty of time for the Mammoths to start turning this around.
Another great job by Endercrafter setting their team up. Potato, last line of defense, makes a fantastic save, and the coach told us that Potato is really helping his team's communication for the Mammoths. He brings a calm, passive voice, and they really want to rely on the team wants to rely on their individual play. So kind of that IGL, the in-game leader that Potato is, hopefully can get the Mammoths to rally back, as right now this ball is in front of the net, but Z-Hydra will go flying past.
Now the Scorpions have started to rotate back. Potato will just throw one of them out of the way. We've got Not Earth coming in, gets a nice touch on it, trying to send it to Endercrafter. Unfortunately, Ender did not get a better touch on it. It's still over here on the side of the Scorpions, though. Endercrafter comes in, doesn't get a good touch. There's a follow-up shot from Potato. Let's see if they can get another touch for the Mammoths. They do, but Z-Hydra's going to grab it instead.
Oh, Z-Hydra, that was a great little dribble there. Ended up having to bail off on it, though. Greed will keep the play alive, clear it all the way down into the blue corner. Stops the attempted clear for Potato as well, but Endercrafter able to help him out, get one touch on it, get a second touch on it. Clears it around Sadness as well. A great solo performance. They just need somebody else to come through. Not Earth can't get there in time, unfortunately.
That was a lot of touches to not have pressure on you, so props to you for maintaining that. But still, even if you don't have pressure, you got to keep up that give-and-go mentality and just make sure you can start making a play situation as opposed to being trapped down in the corner. That did chew up a lot of time off that clock.
Endercrafter, great clear once again, and now a chance to play their own rebound. It just kind of took an awkward roll in the corner. Still gets centered up, though, here. Z-Hydra with a fantastic stop, and the Scorpions starting to put a clamp on this game, especially defensively.
We have Potato now trying to drop the ball down over one of the Scorpions members. They don't manage to do that. Now we've got, it looks like Endercrafter making a great clearing shot, but unfortunately Greed grabbed it, and they drop it down on the ground. Will there be enough of a touch from Sadness? There will. Nicely done.
There was also, I couldn't tell if it was Z-Hydra or Greed, kind of boxed out the member of the Mammoths who was racing back to make that play. And a great little team play for a team that we told was a lot of individual talent, and the question was how they could come together as a team. 40 seconds left. They look well on their way to winning game 1 of this series. As they continue to apply pressure, Endercrafter looking for a clear. Great second hit off the wall there, but Z-Hydra will corral it at midfield. Potato will finally clear it away. And now Sadness and Greed will both commit on it, and a great save by Not Earth.
We have Endercrafter now bringing it up the wall. They're going to center it up for themselves. Unfortunately, though, the ball's too far in front of them, allowing Z-Hydra to stop it, and it's going to go all the way towards the goal. Thankfully, a little too far to one side if you're rooting for the Mammoths there. Now it's going to be centered back up as the clock ticks down. 7 seconds left on the clock. Hopefully the Mammoths can find one goal here just to not round out this first round with nothing on the board. But unfortunately, as we hit 1 second, the Scorpions find another goal.
Z-Hydra sneaks that one in. This kickoff does not go airborne. The game will end. It goes airborne for a little bit. You can see Greed chilling there. And the Scorpions will win that game, put themselves one more game away from third place on the night. And really showing us, as you said, I mean, the questions, not just from you, I mean, that's what the coaches had told me as well. The questions were, how can a stacked solo queue, stacked individual play team figure out how to play as a team, and how quickly can they do it? And so far, the Scorpions have impressed, I think, everybody here tonight with their performance.
I mean, they showed us, they answered that question. They're like, the answer is you just play. And
Yep.
you play how you should be playing and competitive when you're playing with randos and having faith in one another. Granted, I totally understand that not every rando is going to be the rank that they should be. In all honesty, you do run into people that you question every single time. It's like, how are you up here? I get that. But when you have people that you are confident with and you've seen them play, even if you've just run into them a couple of times, it can create camaraderie enough to allow this type of thing to happen. And these players, only in their first tournament together, are performing very well. I'm excited to see what they do in these next couple of rounds. But the Mammoths still have an opportunity to bring this back. Yes, that first game did not go in their favor, but they're still a solid team. So let's see if they can. After all, this is a best of 3.
Now let's throw it into game number 2. And I mean, I've been told by a lot of Rocket League players, I've heard from a lot of Rocket League players that, you know, solo climbing is in any game can be very hard. So I'm sure the Scorpions are probably like, wait, these are teammates I can trust? These are teammates I can rely on? That's probably like a huge sigh of relief, and probably explains potentially why they're playing so well together. As Protato and company get a great start here, Z-Hydra will clear it away. As we see their ball being waited on by Not Earth. Maybe the color change between games 1 and 2 is what the Mammoths need now on the orange side. Unfortunately, Protato ends up with that ball still in their possession. Endercrafter, one touch on it, but Greed's going to steal it away.
Greed does manage to play it around Not Earth as well. They've got, for the side of the Mammoths, already rotated back. Z-Hydra tried to get that centering touch into the net. Unfortunately, they overdrove that one. We have Not Earth trying to get a touch. Will miss it. Protato grabs it, bringing it down. Z-Hydra, though, takes a great touch. It does get tossed back towards the midfield. Already volleyed back towards the Mammoths net, though.
Oh, it's a great opportunity. Ends up hitting the ball wide of the net to the Scorpions. Endercrafter going to wait on it. One touch. Plays it around Sadness and Well. Going to go up on the wall. Fortunately, Potato was kind of right behind them. A bit of an awkward double commit there as Greed shot turned away by Not Earth. Mammoth still looking for a clear. Great dunk by the Scorpions, setting their teammates up, but a huge clear from Potato. Going to relieve some of that pressure.
Scorpions now have possession here in the corner. Going to pass it over to Greed on the other side of the field. So nice play there. It's going to be spiked high. Unfortunately for them, though, Endercrafter will grab it. Z-Hydra will get a follow-up touch. Not Earth will find another touch on it as well. Oh, sorry. Sadness will get another touch on it. Unfortunately, though, Protato has it. Plays it around one of the Scorpions players. Greed stops it from getting a good clear, though.
Endercrafter now in possession. Great little pop-up. Tries to sneak it around a couple members of the Scorpions. Over into the corner, Protato takes a shot, just a little bit too slow, and it's cleared away easily by Greed. Not Earth can't complete the clear. It's all up to Greed versus Endercrafter, and Greed sneaks it past, and what a goal to give the Scorpions the lead in game 2.
It did also sound like there was a demolition that came out onto one of the Mammoths members just out of our line of sight there, so that definitely makes it harder to be on the defense if you're down one. Now, Mammoths looking to bring this one back. As it looked like Not Earth lost their dribble, though, Protato came in to help them out. They will still lose it out as Endercrafter gets taken out by one of the Scorpions members. The ball gets pinched into the corner. No one has a nice possession, and it looks like Ender will be the one to clear it back over to the corner.
Z-Hydra centers it up for Greed, who hits it bar down, but the crossbar will deny that one. Protato now has a chance to clear, looking for the tie. Got Endercrafter right to their left. Not able to find it. Z-Hydra off the side wall. One more chance. Gets it around Endercrafter as well. And now Z-Hydra, loses the dribble midair, so it's going to be reset here for Not Earth.
We have the Scorpions not giving up on this push forward. Eventually, Protato finds the clear, but it's stopped yet again at the midfield. Endercrafter does a nice backflip there to send it to Not Earth. Who's just going to have to push Greed around. Greed does not get a clean touch on it. Sadness tries to follow up the touch. And now we've got Endercrafter making a great clear, pushing Greed out of the way. No opportunity for Potato to get a shot in. That's turned away by Greed nonetheless.
Not Earth still has possession. Under 2 minutes left. Endercrafter can't quite challenge that ball, though, as Z Hydra will clear it away midair. Potato blasts it down. Greed makes one stop. Potato back in possession. Centers it in front of the net, but just in time, Sadness is there. Endercrafter off the back wall, but none of their teammates are in a great position to make a play on it. They'll end up popping it in the air themselves as Potato outjumps Z Hydra. But for all this jumping, for all this possession, I don't think the Mammoths got a single shot on goal that possession, Nerdy.
It's difficult when you have a team as solid as the Scorpions to go against. They do get a shot on goal for the Mammoths there, but the crossbar was the savior for the Scorpions on that one, and now it's already back on the side of the Mammoths. It feels like the possession for the Mammoths is just too long. They need to work on the one touch and go. The give and go from normal soccer is something that still applies here, because otherwise the Scorpions just come in and are a menace to that possession.
Less than 60 seconds left. Endercrafter going to start the dribble. Got Potato in front, but sneaks it around one. Unfortunately, Greed was there. Not Earth trying to keep that play alive. We did get a demo onto Potato, who's racing back in. Z Hydra and Endercrafter get tied up. A great play by Sadness. She just blasts that ball through and back to the orange side.
Now we've got Not Earth trying to bring it down into the corner. Greed is there. Weird pinch-off happens. Z Hydra's there as well. Greed does get the clear towards the mid. It is going to be turned back around, though, by Potato. Dropping it down, but all 3 members of the Scorpions bunched up by their goal. Now we've got Sadness bringing it up, trying to drop it down in front of the net. It will be turned away, though, by Not Earth.
Z Hydra, 8 seconds left. Scoreboard operator thinks the Scorpions are going to win. We'll see if the Mammoths have a miracle in them. They've got to go coast to coast in 0 seconds here. Z Hydra will just simply spike it into the ground, and the Scorpions will sneak out of there with a win, and they'll pick up a win in the series. So even though they missed out on the Octane Cup, the Scorpions will finish on a strong note. They'll be our top seed going into the Fennec Cup next week. So that will wrap everything up here for our Week 6 group stage action. We know it'll be the Lions and the Hammerheads in our top cup of the night, the Octane Cup, next week, and then the Fennec Cup, the Scorpions will be the top seed. Well, if you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights. With our featured Rumbles, recruiters are taking notice as well. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. Fantastic performances, I think, from everybody here tonight, Nerdy. And while I didn't make you pick any teams, I am going to make you pick your ICCU player of the game.
Oh my goodness, their name just escaped me. Psychosis? Was that it? Is that how I say their name?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. It's going to them. I'm not even 100% positive they are technically an Esports Tower player. Hopefully Esports Tower is looking to recruit them, because they were a fantastic player this evening and just all around great. They were a great defender. They knew the rotations. They had them almost down to a science, I feel like. So my vote's going to Psychosis.
Yeah, I think Psychosis is probably my choice as well. If I had to be different from you, I'd probably give it to probably Wilds would be my backup choice for the Lions.
He's gotten it so often.
That's true. I know the Lions are getting a lot. When you win a lot, you're usually our player of the game a lot. I think you're right, though. I thought Psychosis was incredibly impressive, and I think the one thing is just their growth throughout the night. We saw against the Lions in the first game, they tried to get a bit too solo play, kind of tried to ego check the Lions a little bit. Like, I know you're undefeated. Let me show you what I could do. But later and later, relied on their teammates, relied on Tater and Vibes, and so I think I'm agree with you. I agree. I think it should be Psychosis. We'll see if production agrees with us, though, on our ICCU player of the game.
It is from the Lions and Higher. Oh, it's Jababy.
Jababy's kind of been, I don't want to say lost, but Thrift and Wilds have played so well. Sometimes you forget about how good of a player Jababy is. So even though they're on the Lions, even though they probably have gotten quite a few, Jababy is a very deserving player of the game tonight.
They're kind of like, they're that missing piece. I mean, like, yes, we have Thrift and Wilds making a lot of plays, but Jababy's actually the one who sets a lot of these up. So credit where credit's due. Jababy does a great job. They did sneak one weird goal in.
Yeah,
that we didn't belong to them. But you know what? In this case, we'll give it to you.
Yeah, would have loved to see. Those were 2 goals that I would have loved to see a replay on. It was that one and then a goal in our other game where it looked like the save was easily made and then somehow the ball glitched through the car. But huge congratulations to Jababy. You're our Idaho Central Credit Union Player of the Night. ICCU believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central's helping members achieve financial success. Congratulations, Jababy 67. We'll get that in there. I don't know what that 67 refers to, but you are the Idaho Central Credit Union Player of the Night. Well, as we prepare to close out tonight, we get ready for next week's Cup Stage games. Nerdy, what are your final thoughts, your final big takeaways on tonight?
Okay, so my final thoughts are going to be kind of team-orientated, and that's definitely towards the Gators. Just, you guys need to spread out a bit more, have more confidence in one another. And yes, I understand resetting to not leave a goal open, but determine who needs to go the furthest back and who can stay at the midfield. It should be split into thirds, so to speak, is what you want to be looking for. For the Lions, be careful. Your coaches have seemed to talk you up a ton, and we apologize, but we take that word as sacred, and we run with it. So you are the team to beat. And for the Scorpions, you guys did great tonight, and I'm excited to see what you bring in the future.
Okay. I can't wait for next week. I'm really, really excited for that Lions Hammerheads to see that full best-of-5 game series, and I think the Scorpions are right there as well. Mammoths and Gators, I think, as you said, I think with a little bit more coaching, the Gators can be one of those teams. The Mammoths have been very hot and cold. This is one of their cold weeks, but they can always end with a fantastic Cup Stage game next week. Well, congratulations to all the teams in the group stage for a great showing, a very entertaining game, maybe one of our best weeks yet in terms of entertainment and crazy close games. We'll be back next week with the Cup games on Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Mountain, to see who are our top teams of Week 6. But we'll close out with the top 5 presented by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams out there. Here are your top 5 plays from our Week 6 group stage in the Rocket League Rumble.
Asked them to stall out, probably took control of the tempo there for a little bit in favor of the Hammerheads, and probably confused the Gators just as it confused you, Fish.
Psychosis picks up that.
It does make it across that midfield stripe with an unfortunate not high enough elevation there, but Psychosis got the save, sends it back to the mid. It's now past that midfield stripe area. Wilds is rotated back towards the goal, but it's going to roll in over Wilds.
Hammerheads have done a great job keeping this game close. Tater, long downfield, that pass, unfortunately not able to complete it without any boost, and it gets reset, and the Lions now looking to add another one.
The Lions did a great job jumping into that passing lane, grabbing that ball, but there was a double commit. Thankfully, no one capitalized on that from the Hammerheads against them. They get a shot on goal, and it's going to go in after some awkward ping-pong action between 2 cars there. Do that. Potato saves it there at the mid, so they maintain possession here. Now, it looks like Psychosis had a chance there, but did lose their dribble.
Tater going to clear it over to Psychosis, who's waiting on the wall, centers it up for Vibes, who sneaks it in. A great little team play there on a wide open net.
Only a one goal differential territory here. No one has a safety goal just yet. So Hammerheads have the opportunity to bring this around and bring us into overtime if they can score at least one here. Tater has the ball. Will they be able to find the connection to get the back of the net? They'll find an open net for themselves. They don't need the help. And now we've got 35 seconds.